What is going on, guys? It is Wrestlelamia here, back with another news video, and the recent release of 4 WWE Superstars as well as possible NXT cuts has fans wondering why the WWE is suddenly trimming the roster. Join us now as Wrestlelamia looks at the reasons why the WWE is trimming its roster, and we also look at other news including Sami Zayn confronting a fan shouting homophobic slurs at a WWE live event, and 2 Hall of Fame inductees already announced. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily videos. Now, in case you missed it, and it's pretty hard if you did, the WWE released 4 superstars, with Sin Cara, Luke Harper and the ascensions of Victor and Connor being future endeavoured. Rumour has it that WWE is looking to trim its NXT roster in 2020, leaving fans to ask why the WWE is suddenly releasing wrestlers after months of reports it wouldn't grant releases to anyone. So what gives? As we've noted in past videos, the WWE has previously said it would not grant releases to wrestlers. Then the policy was modified to that where it would release wrestlers who it felt couldn't contribute to a WWE rival. While it's arguable that the Ascension have been jobbed into worthlessness, that's clearly not the case with Luke Harper. As for Sin Cara, there's a possibility he may leave wrestling to become an MMA broadcaster, or even go the way of Del Rio and actually fight in the octagon. But the releases and rumours of more to come need to be explained. Rumour has it the 4 wrestlers are under a 90-day no-compete clause, which means they won't be able to work anywhere until sometime in March. That means a very long Christmas holiday break. Now, as for the simple answer for these releases, it's pretty much a fact that the WWE roster is just too big. It's difficult to recall a time when the WWE had so many superstars under contract. A look at our recent 10-year challenge videos for Raw and SmackDown, be sure to check that out in the top right hand corner, revealed over 100 superstars working for both rosters, and that's just the main roster. It's great to see so many talented individuals working in the WWE, but as we'll see, there's also a number of drawbacks that the WWE is finally starting to acknowledge. Number 1. Creative constraints. As incredible as it may sound, the WWE doesn't have enough time to showcase the various stars on its rosters. Raw's 3 hours may seem like a lot, but it's clear the WWE doesn't know how to utilize the time properly, and Friday Night SmackDown is no better. Even AEW has struggled to feature its smaller roster on AEW DYNAMITE, showcasing top stars but finding it harder to build up undercard stars with just 2 hours. And it's more fair to them as they only have 2 hours in the week, not including pay-per-views. While the WWE has its B shows like 205 Live and Main Event, their smaller audience makes it questionable how effective they are. On one hand, it would seem the WWE could do more with the stars it has, creating a number of storylines featuring wrestlers from the mid-card level to the main event. However, that hasn't been the case, and it's shown. Even when the WWE airs Battle Royals, Fatal 4-Ways or 8-man tag matches, there are always stars who get left off the air. For every match on television, there are often 1 or 2 backstage segments or promos, often with the same wrestlers, cutting out more time. Number 2. The financial factor. The WWE is sitting on a large pile of money right now thanks to its new television rights deals with the USA Network and Fox, as well as its lucrative deal with Saudi Arabia. Nevertheless, the WWE has also been pouring money into investments such as new performance centers and possible NXT brands in foreign markets besides the United Kingdom. In fact, there's a picture going around showing NXT's proposed dominance around the world. Factor in the company's shaky showing on Wall Street in 2019, and it's likely the WWE is starting to look at its large talent roster and the big money contracts it's been dealing to keep stars from leaving the WWE. While it's unlikely the WWE will go out of business, the company has already seen the delicate position they are in financially thanks to their over-reliance on their television deals and Saudi deal. Recall the post-Crown Jewel debacle where it appeared the Saudis might cancel their deal with the WWE. As soon as rumours surfaced the WWE was looking at losing the big money deal, there were reports of the WWE scrambling to cut costs including salaries. But there's also another reason to do with money. as WrestlingNews.co reported that the money they save from cutting wrestlers could very well go towards offering more lucrative contracts to current superstars, and we're assuming it's the ones that command a higher price to stay, like Randy Orton, etc. They noted, "A WWE source told me that another reason why the company is more open to releasing some wrestlers is that it helps them cut down on salaries while freeing up more money to offer deals to mid and upper card wrestlers who they don't want to leave the company." Looking at the WWE's roster, it's impossible not to see the comparison between the final years of WCW, when the promotion had hundreds of wrestlers on its roster, mostly in the NWO, as many of them never wrestled one match on television. While the WWE isn't that bad, things have been getting out of hand. We won't bother listing the various superstars who are lucky to make it to main event, let alone Raw or SmackDown. Some fans were likely surprised to hear of the Ascension's release, unaware that Victor and Connor were still working for the WWE. Ultimately, the WWE has plenty of stars to create a roster of talented and highly marketable wrestlers. It's just a question of trimming the proverbial fat and making choices on who they feel will contribute to the company the most. Inevitably, the money saved from reducing the roster can be used for keeping desired talent under contract. This decision who to keep and who to release are also tied with our next factor. Number 3. Locker room morale. The WWE has to consider the morale in its locker room said to be at an all-time low. Fans have seen various wrestlers complaining about their pushes via social media, along with the wrestlers publicly requesting their releases. Add in the WWE's ratings and attendance woes, as well as the recent debacles like the Crown Jewel travel issues, which resulted in a number of superstars vowing never to return to Saudi Arabia, and you have a company dealing with many disgruntled workers. There could be a feeling amongst some WWE wrestlers that the company is better off without them. Every workplace has one or more people whose bad attitude makes it unbearable to work with them, and the WWE is no different. The only difference up until now has been the WWE's refusal to let them leave, fearful that they'll help the competition. Number 4. AEW isn't hiring everyone. While AEW looks like an attractive option for disgruntled wrestlers, and there's no denying that it's the first time in decades wrestlers have another option to work in a national promotions besides the WWE, AEW isn't rolling out the red carpet for just anyone. AEW executives have repeatedly stated AEW isn't going to hire every WWE cast-off. Indeed, in recent interviews, AEW President Tony Khan has even hinted that the company may have hired too many stars. While you can be sure AEW has a wish list of stars such as The Revival, don't expect to see a wave of former WWE wrestlers showing up on Dynamite, or even AEW Dark for that matter. Although the joke of Cody Rhodes rummaging through the bin behind WWE headquarters is quite funny. And number 5, AEW hasn't crushed NXT yet. Vince McMahon was wisely cautious of the threat posed by AEW, locking as many superstars under contract as he could. Now, several months after AEW's pay-per-view debut and 2 months into its TV show, it's clear AEW isn't cutting into the WWE's ratings as much as feared. While this could change, there's less reason to feel WWE needs to keep every star signed for the next 5 years. AEW is thriving and with the right moves could grow its audience further. However, there are only so many wrestlers it can sign, and the WWE is taking a more prudent attitude towards whom to keep and whom to release. There will likely be cases where AEW or another promotion takes a WWE superstar who was doing nothing in Titanland and create a superstar. That's the risk the WWE will have to take if they want to trim the roster to free up funds and boost morale. It's also a reminder that the WWE still has a long way to go in properly utilizing its various talent effectively. But those were our reasons why the WWE is releasing wrestlers, along with some rumors. Who do you think will be on the chopping block next? Will Mike Kanellis be granted his request for release? What about The Revival? They put their request for release in ages ago. Let us know in the comments down below. Next up, Sami Zayn confronts a fan at a WWE live event. Now, wrestlers in the ring always have to contend with fans at ringside hurling abuse. Of course, heels will get the most abuse, and most of them will brush them off or even entice them to get them even more riled up. However, some hate directed towards wrestlers is simply not on, especially when they are homophobic slurs, which seem to be directed towards Sami Zayn. This happened last night at a WWE house show in Daytona, Florida. Although we didn't hear the slur itself, a fan managed to capture what happened after as Zayn was irate with him. The referees tried to hold Zayn back as he called him a moron and told him to shout it out louder so everyone can hear. The fan was also kicked out of the venue shortly after. Twitter user John Betts managed to capture the incident on camera. In the final story of today, 2 WWE Hall of Fame inductees have been announced. And we're fast approaching 2020, where the road to WrestleMania starts after the Royal Rumble, so it's no surprise that inductees for the class of 2020 are being announced. This year's headliners have been announced, and sadly it's not Undertaker and Kane, but the news is still good. Both the Animal Batista and legendary faction the NWO will be inducted. Surprisingly, this doesn't include just the original 3 of Hogan, Nash and Hall, but it includes X-Pac, who briefly joined as 6-Pac. WWE officially announced on Twitter just moments ago, breaking, Dave Batista and the NWO, Hulk Hogan, Kevin Nash, Scott Hall and X-Pac are the first inductees in the WWE Hall of Fame class of 2020, as first reported by People and ESPN respectively. Now, whilst we respect WWE's decision to include X-Pac, it's still strange that they did, as if you're going to include X-Pac, you might as well include Scott Norton or Vincent, as they were in there much longer than he was. We and probably many others associate him with D-Generation X, but Pac has made history as he'll be the first to be inducted into 2 separate factions. What do you guys think of the news? Let us know in the comments down below, subscribe if you haven't already, follow us on Instagram and Twitter, and I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.